My video for February the 23rd, 2020 is number 3375. The title is A Planet with a System of Fraudsters in Charge. Some of my friends continue to seek remedies for the massive fraud against humanity that seems to continue unabated. It's mind control, also known as government conspiracy. In the USA, both the IRS and the Federal Reserve are fraud, scams to rob the people of their assets. But it's not just in America, it's all over the world. One good friend of mine just disappeared. The whole family is gone. That friend was supporting an orphanage in Africa, a continent economically devastated by criminals. Of course, this goes on all over the planet. I can't help but wonder if the creation of humanity is not simply an experiment gone awry. With milk, the cream rises to the top. But in this world, the fraudsters rose to the top a long time ago. Some suggest that real change is at hand. Yes, the currency revaluation, RV, was supposed to bring positive changes. Like the supposed second coming of Christ, promised changes that might be beneficial never seem to actually happen. Those of us who hope for real change that actually drains the swamp are left more and more destitute, struggling to simply survive. Oh, how I'd like to be optimistic. The money system is the root of all evil on earth. It's all fraud, folks. I'm recording this video a second time, and it will not be the same as the first one. And I'll explain that after I read this other thing that was part of the other video, because I have that written down so I know what I said. I don't necessarily know what I said several hours ago when I supposedly created the earlier video for this date. Anyway, this was written by a Lithuanian. I don't know if it's a man or a woman. Quote, "This has been planned for well over 100 years. Whether the virus is real or not is irrelevant. Either way, they will use it as an excuse to collapse supply lines and the world economic system. This is the start of their final push. They have infiltrated power structures in almost all countries, including ours, and all major corporations with their satanic blackmail system. With the recent uprising of citizens all over the world, from China to Hong Kong to France to Brexit and Europe, they had no choice but to do it now and crush the global awakening. The virus will be the impetus to shut down all commerce and enact a global famine, all the while using police state tactics to lock down and quarantine everyone. Dissidents have long since been pinpointed and targeted for removal, like is happening right now in China. Get ready for real. Barring a miracle, this could well be a genocide of unimaginable proportions. The USA, with its wonderful citizens, is the world's last and final hope." Yeah, I would like to see the US step up to the plate and lead the world in not democracy, although democracy is a good thing, but the United States is a republic. And the republic gives voice to all people, not just in densely populated and areas like California and New York and whatnot, but gives voice to people in the Dakotas and Idaho and Montana and less populated states. That's the whole reason for a republic. It creates a level of unanimity to some degree. I mean, nothing can be perfect, but that's the way it is to some degree. Now, I'm sure I talked about a lot of things when I recorded this video, but it disappeared. It simply disappeared. I found the audio version, but there's no video, no no image at all. And it might be because I put something else over the top of the screen that was recording, which might, and I don't know if it did or not. I run a test video and the audio and the video are both working fine, but all I could get was audio, but I had deleted the processing part of Zoom. And all of my videos start on Zoom. I'm a paid subscriber. In any case, after talking to about 3 different technicians on Zoom, and then my friend from England who tried to help me also with getting things back working the way they're supposed to, he had to go, and I just gave up. I says, well, I'm going to record another video, and it won't be the same. As I said in the blurb, do have a friend, and her family has not communicated. She has not communicated with me since December the 22nd. That was the last communication. And then everything went silent. And I don't know what's going on in Australia. I don't know what's going on in a lot of places of the world. But I was helping, along with this lady, I was helping to support an orphanage in Africa, and sending them monthly donations. Now, that hasn't happened this year because I've had extraordinary car expenses, and the hostess of that thing is gone. No communication. And so I look at what's going on in the world, and I have people, when I post a little comment or something like that, I get lots and lots and lots of people commenting. On my videos, I don't get very many comments at all. 1 or 2 sometimes maybe even 4 or 5. But very few people comment on my videos. But yet when I make a comment about Trump or something like that, I've got Trump haters and Trump supporters. And they criticize anybody that doesn't agree with them. How do we build a better world when we can't even communicate reasonably and listen to one another without headbutting and arguing and saying, I'm right, you're wrong? I want so much to see the fraud corrected. But will God actually make corrections? I know I've talked about that in so many of my videos because I pray for God. And people say, but Ron, it's our responsibility. Then it won't happen. I'm sorry, it won't happen. We cannot, unless we are empowered, make any change to the system the way it is. As this Lithuanian man said, they are creating a prison system. They want to eliminate the majority of the world's population. They want to get everybody out of the country into cities where they can be more easily managed. And how that's going to stop, I don't know. To me, it requires a miracle. It requires divine intervention. It requires the empowerment and the enlightenment of humanity, those of us with good intentions. I wish that everyone could repent, but will they? Will something happen that brings us all together, as Ronald Reagan once said? I don't know. I don't know what I know anymore. What I thought I knew, I should say. I don't know. I'm not sure of anything. I have a lot of questions, a lot of doubts, and I continue to beat my head against the wall, trying to find a way to make a difference. Thank you, folks, for listening, and namaste.